We've been talking, just a side note, we've been talking about how can we get more people to team nights? How can we get more people under this kind of teaching? How can we get more people at prayer? How can we get more people to have dinner with us? And we came to the conclusion, if we just do it really well for a long time, like we just keep adding value to you, you'll want to be here. So that's our goal. I think they did a great job. We are on page 6. Page 6 is our strategy. Vince Lombardi, a famous football coach, said, "Hope is not a strategy."
Good. That's really good.
It is not a strategy. I can hope all the day long to lose weight. That is a terrible strategy. Wake up in the morning, I just hope that when I weigh myself tonight, I'm a pound less. And if I just believe it in faith.
Oh boy.
No. Hope is not a strategy. So our strategy comes from, I want you to write this at the top of the page. If you haven't wrote that quote, I'll say it one more time. You can write that down. Hope is not a strategy. That's Vince Lombardi. I also want you to write down Ephesians chapter 1, verse 17 through 19. I'm going to read it to you. You can look it up another time. Ephesians 1, 17 through 19. This is where our strategy comes from. I ask the God of our Master, Jesus Christ, the God of glory, to make you intelligent and discerning in knowing Him personally, your eyes focused and clear, so that you can see exactly what He's calling you to do.
Right.
How many of you would love to know exactly what He's calling you to do?
Yeah.
Right? Grasp the immensity of His glorious way of life He has for you. It's not just, here's what I want you to do. It's, here's what I want you to do. And guess what? You get to do that for a long time.
Yeah.
That's great. That if we can build a house of faith that empowers people to live out the mission of Jesus, and the strategy is, number one, knowing Him personally. That's where we know God. Knowing Him personally comes from the Scripture. It says knowing Him personally. We shorten it to know God, and the blank to the right of the know God circle is Sundays. Sundays. Our Sunday morning services exist primarily to help people know God. We want it to be relevant. We want it to be fun. Maybe you can write some of these words down next to that. It's relevant. It's fun. Always an opportunity for salvation. We love to work in contrary to religion and what people have been told before. And we open up the Word and we say, here's what it says and here's how it applies to your life. We want people to know God. Secondly, number 2, if you follow that circle around clockwise, it comes from the Scripture, your eyes focused and clear, finding freedom. That happens in the context of groups. You can write groups next to find freedom. Our eyes focused and clear. We shorten it, find freedom. It happens best in groups. Think about it like this. We're almost in the summer season. A lot of people are starting to open their pools. Memorial Day is the #1 holiday for pool openings in America. They stock up on chlorine in the pool supply stores, all those kinds of things. Have you ever tried swimming with your eyes open in a freshly chlorinated pool?
Oh my gosh.
Not only does it burn while you're under the water, it has a lasting effect, doesn't it? Yeah. And you can't see right, and it's just awful. Well, a lot of people go their entire lives not really seeing life clearly. Not really seeing life the way that God intends for them to see it. And the thing that clouds our eyes are our habits and our past trauma. And the things that were done to us, or the things that we participated in, the way we grew up, the old mindsets, the gum instead of Scotch tape. That's so weird, but so true. 315. Let's do this. When our eyes can become focused and clear, and we're not seeing through the fog of sin and shame, we then realize, if you follow it around, if you follow it up to number 3, we discover our purpose. This comes from the portion of Scripture that says, calling you to do. Calling you to do. Discovering purpose. This happens in Growth Track. It's written right next to there. It happens in Growth Track. So many people, the number one question of human beings is, what is the meaning of life? What's the meaning of life? Why am I here? There's got to be something more. It's got to be better than this. There must be more. The meaning of life. Well, The meaning of life is discovering your God-given purpose, right? We do that through growth track. And then the scripture continues, number 4, the way of life, right? Once you discover your purpose, then you can live out the way of life that God has for you. You can make a difference, and that happens in our strategy on teams. You can write the word teams next to make a difference. What's wonderful about getting on a team and following this strategy, you get to know God in our Sunday services. You find your freedom over and over and more for the rest of your life, really, in the context of community and groups. You discover your purpose, that you were made to make a difference, and then you get to be a contributor and a participant in building a house of faith that empowers people to live out the mission of Jesus.
That's right.
Not just a casual recipient.
That's right.
Now you're building.
Yeah.
What I love about this group, and as we continue to expand these team rallies and things, is we're building church.
Yes.
Like there is no greater joy that I have in my life. And I think you're discovering that one of the great joys in your life is getting to build church together.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the building. I'm not talking about just Sundays, although many of us contribute to that. I'm not just talking about leading a small group, although many of us do that. I'm not talking about just wiping the counters or serving the food, although many of us do that. But we get to build a house of faith that empowers people to live out the mission of Jesus so they can know God, they can find their freedom, they can discover their purpose, and then by God, now they're building with us.
That's right.
There's no greater joy
Yeah.
that I've found in life. I've found my purpose, and I think you're discovering a portion of yours in building this house of faith together. So, the activity down in that box, I want you to turn to 2 or 3 people around you, and I want you to ask each other, yourself, the question: how does the area I serve or lead in contribute to the whole strategy? The whole strategy. I'll give you an example just to guide your conversation. Example. I was meeting with Sweet Barbara Hill over there, and she leads our environmental care service team. And I asked her why she did this. And I'm going to misquote you, but I think I got the spirit of it. And she said, "My job is to prepare the house for the guests, free of distraction." Right? So she's not just talking about, yeah, I exist to clean. No, it's bigger than that. And she's building a house of faith, empowering people to live out the mission of Jesus, because she's preparing the house for the guests, free of distraction. So that's kind of some guiding language. Have a little discussion. How does your area or the area you lead contribute to the whole mission? Take a couple minutes to do that.